Hello, friends. Dale here. More time for it's Harvest Moon in the Lost Valley. Let's go. Oh my thing. Okay, preview scan. I already forgot how to do this. Okay, there we go. Every time I forget how to full screen my OBS preview window. But let's get back into Harvest Moon in the Lost Valley, and yeah, we will continue on. I think I forgot to rename my video file from the last recording because I wanted to jump right into this one. I did save and export my audio and everything, but I need to make sure I go back and do that after this one. But yeah, so let's go. And last time I was talking about removing, improving social health through removing toxic and negative social interactions in your life. And that can be really hard, but you can start with things like social media or whatever. And yeah, but then today I wanted to talk about Sam's birthday is coming up. Today I wanted to talk about introducing more positive interactions into your life. And this one is really hard. And this one is one that I personally struggle with, so I am not going to have good advice, but I'm going to talk about the things that I have tried and what I want to continue to try and things that I do think are positive that I do have in my life. So we got some good news. Let's read about Sam's student. Oh, he got a bunch of new seeds. Oh my gosh, he's giving me more seeds? What did we get? I need to know. Basil seeds and soybean seeds. Okay, we don't really need to plant any of that right now. Let's see. What do we have in the bag? 50? Why do we have 50? That's so many. Is this like from a DLC thing that because I didn't have any DLC and the 3DS. I did get the girl, I forget her name, but the girl with the monocle, she's really cute and I really wanted to marry her. So I bought the DLC and then I never replayed the game to marry her. I think her name is Andrea. But yeah, why we have 50 of these? I don't remember this from the 3DS version. So this might be a DLC thing that part of the DLC was when you bought it, you got these 100 seeds. So we're just gonna kind of hang on to those for now. But well, let's talk. Oh, I forgot to go talk to Rowan yesterday. We want to talk to people every day because I think it's called chemistry in this game. Your chemistry with characters moves up really slowly. I think it moves up it can go to 100%, and I think it moves up 0.5% a day if you talk to them. So, yeah. So that's how you foster positive social interactions in Harvest Moon: The Lost Valley. But how about real life? It is hard, and I think this is something I was talking about in therapy, which we just started to talk about it, and then we didn't really get to finish because we ran out of time. And, but one thing we were talking about is how it's so much easier to find social interaction of any kind when you're in school, because you are just around people your age, and within those groups there are people with similar interests to you, and people who are socially compatible with you, and you're just around them all the time, almost every day. So it's a lot easier to have your social needs met. But as you get older, you're not around those people anymore, and you have to go out of your way to make time to see those people that you already had interacted with before. And you can't just go to school, so you can't just find those people as easily. And I had tried some things like I did go to. I joined a Pokemon League. I was playing Pokemon trading card game. The problem with that was it was very expensive. And I was in a position where driving was very scary at the time, and I was not as comfortable with doing it. I'm a lot more comfortable driving now than I was before, so maybe I could restart something like that again. But I did have positive interactions with the people around, but I didn't make any like friends. Like, I was friendly with the people, but I didn't make any friends from it. And I did try going to a across the street from my house. There is a gaming store, and they have certain games like every night. And I wasn't really into the games they played, but I went out and just kind of hung out and watched them play the games, and it was fun. But again, I didn't really make any friends. And that's really hard when you're an adult, especially because a lot of people your age, in my case, a lot of people my age, well, I do think that, I do think that pretty much people from my generation, gaming is a pretty big hobby. Not as big as it is with the younger generations, but a lot of millennials do game, so that's not as big of a problem. But other interests, and within gaming, like, it's hard to find real life people who are 40 years old who like Harvest Moon: The Lost Valley. Like, that's just not a thing that's gonna happen. So and I have identified with talking with my therapist that some big social needs that I have that are not being met is to be able to share interests with people and to be intellectually stimulated with other people. And I do have a very caring and supportive partner, and I'm very, very happy in my romantic relationship. But we don't really share any interests, and not to be mean or anything, but it's not a very intellectually stimulating relationship, which I find is a fairly rare thing. Like, not, even with a lot of friendships I had in the past, they just aren't. And but those are things that I really care about, and that I haven't really had in my life for a while because like I said, I kind of just, in all aspects of life, I kind of just let myself go in my 30s, and I just didn't put effort into much of anything. So I kind of got distanced from most of my friends, and I still have, some friends that I talk to here and there, but I really, every day, I have my partner in real life that I talk to, and like I had like 2 online friends that I talk to every day, and one of them was the toxic one I mentioned last video, so that was not helping. And then the other one is a really good friend, and we do have intellectually stimulating conversations sometimes. So I do get that, but I think I like crave that a lot because I really miss academia when I was in college, and you talked about theoretical this and science that, and you were around people who wanted to talk about intellectually stimulating things, and I think I really miss that. And I think that I want to talk about intellectually stimulating things that I'm personally interested in, and most of the stimulating things I talk about with this friend that I'm mentioning is we talk about more like social issues and stuff, but which I do change my mind and learn a lot talking with her, but sometimes I want to talk about math and science and linguistics and stuff like that. I don't have anyone to talk about those things with. But also shared interests has been really hard because the two of us, we don't really share a lot of interests. And I think that's, we do share some, but I think what really made me realize I was missing this is because recently I wanted to watch Sailor Moon. And for a week now, maybe even over a week, I've just had this really strong urge to watch Sailor Moon. And the main thing keeping me from doing it is I don't want to pay for Hulu, and I don't want to watch ads, and I don't have enough space to download it on my phone through a secret special means. And my phone is the thing with the biggest amount of space on it. I don't have fast enough internet connection to download it on my PC, which I guess I could. Plus, I have to turn off the PC regularly. Basically, it's the main way I would want to watch it is to pay for Hulu, and Hulu is expensive, and I don't want to pay for it and then watch 2 episodes and then quit. And I think a big reason that I'm not sure if I would stick with it, even though I really like it, is because I don't have anyone to talk about it with. And I think it's really different to talk about it on a forum or Reddit or something than to have one-on-one discussions. And when I was younger, in college and high school and stuff, a new game would come out or something, all my friends would be playing it, and we'd all talk about it all the time. I don't have that anymore, and I think that part of what I'm wanting from watching Sailor Moon again is that experience, and I won't be able to have that experience because I don't have friends who share the interests and want to watch it again and talk about it. And so there's been a couple things I've been thinking about on that front. Is to, one, find other interests that I can be interested in that are relevant to people that I do talk to already that they want to talk about. And I did talk with a friend that I probably should talk to more, an old friend, one of my longest, actually really at this point probably the longest friendship I've had that I still maintain. We've kind of distanced from each other, but so we do talk now and then, and so maybe I could try to revitalize that friendship. And we talked about watching K-pop Demon Hunters. I think that's what it's called. And we both just kind of vaguely said oh yeah, that sounds cool. Not hey, let's watch it together or anything, but that could be something, maybe I could suggest. Let's watch together, and then we could talk about it and stuff. And then that would, it doesn't have to be Sailor Moon specifically, But another way that I'm hoping to find people with shared interests is through getting back into YouTube again, and maybe eventually streaming too, because I actually did make a lot of friends through streaming, and was able to talk one-on-one or in small groups in my public Discord. But that all kind of got ruined in various ways. People, when I stopped streaming, that kind of people drifted from the Discord, and a lot of stuff was going on in my life, and I couldn't really keep up with it, and it kind of became more a place to post about the updates on my life, and it was really dark and heavy, and I think people didn't really want to talk about anything else there anymore. And then I kind of quit streaming because of this toxic relationship that I talked about in the last video, because I didn't really know what to do about this friendship, and they kind of drove away a lot of people from the stream and made it uncomfortable for me to stream. So because drama and arguing tends to follow this person, and it really made kind of a negative environment in my stream, and then so kind of all of this like friendships and stuff I built up through the stream kind of all dissolved over time. But you know, maybe I can build that back up again, and so that's why I really wanted to get back into getting back into doing this is something that I wanted to do to kind of make a step towards trying to find positive social interaction in life again. And that's why I started recording these YouTube videos. And these have actually been really hard. I don't think what I'm about to say is something that really warrants an entire video, but I will. I have been putting it off for a long time, making this video. I wanted to make videos before this, but this game didn't come out until like 6 days ago, or maybe 7 days, about a week ago. And you know, I was thinking about doing other games before this, and just kind of jumping back and forth. And then I really told myself, okay, I'm going to do it when this game comes out. And then the game came out, and I still didn't make videos for like a week. And a lot of it is because I was having trouble finding the motivation to do it. And this could be a much bigger topic, but a lot of times we wait for inspiration and motivation to do things. As this is something that I learned in therapy that I often forget. Is that a lot of times motivation and inspiration doesn't make us do things, but doing things gives us motivation and inspiration to do more things. And it's feeling very true to me right now, because I have been putting this off and putting this off, and I just forced myself to do it tonight, and it was hard. It was really hard, because you know, I struggle with motivation. Not only do I have a lot of like stressful things going on in my life right now, but I also have a lot of disabilities and difficulty just doing even just everyday tasks. So doing something like beyond everyday tasks is even harder. But you know, so I've been struggling to do it for like a week and telling myself I'm going to do it every day. And even today, you know, just getting into the office, turning on the computer, you know, every step I was like, oh, I want to give up. You know, I'm not going to do the next step. I got to the point, you know, I started early in the day, instead of, you know, I can only really record like at night now, but when husbando is sleeping. But so I wanted to I made sure I got on the computer in the day, updated all the software. I kept doing little bits throughout the day to where when it came time tonight where I could record, I could just sit down and do it. But even then it was like, oh, I have to like get the Joy-Cons off the Switch and check the volume levels, test the microphone. And it's just so many steps, even though they're not hard things to do, but just like the concept of lots of steps. I really had to push through it. And I finally did, like, I was just sitting here not doing it for like an hour. And then like, I wasn't really, I would open Reddit, which I talked about before. I need to stop going on Reddit, but that's kind of my default procrastination technique right now, is to go to Reddit. And so I, you know, eventually I was like, you know, I'm just gonna, I don't know, you know, sometimes you can't just force yourself because you just don't have even that little bit of motivation and energy to do it. But I did it. I got the Joy-Cons out, and then you know, that kind of helped me do the next steps and everything. And now I'm excited. I'm making video after video, and I want to keep doing it. I look forward to doing it tomorrow, and like, you know, I'm having a lot of fun, and now I feel really motivated and inspired to make videos. But like, even though I wanted to do it, like I had the idea in my head that this is something I wanted to do, like finding the actual motivation, even just to pick up the Joy-Cons was so hard. And then now, like, I could do all kinds of stuff, you know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it all, and it's no problem at all. And I could do more stuff, you know. I'm sure as when I finish up making some of these videos, I'm gonna go do some encoding and editing and publishing, and I might make thumbnails. I might set up my new channel, because this is all going on a new channel. I haven't actually made the channel yet. I'm going to repurpose an old channel that I have that has no videos on it, just because I have like 7 Gmail accounts for some reason, and I'm going to repurpose one of those old channels that's linked to my channel, or that's linked to my other accounts, and I'll go there. I'm ready to do all that. I'm not feeling like that stuff is intimidating or hard, even though, just a bit ago, the idea of taking the Joy-Cons off the Switch just felt so overwhelming to me that, once you really get going, action really does create motivation. So, that only took about 5 minutes to talk about. Wouldn't have been able to talk about it for a whole video, so I'm glad I tacked it on to the end of this video. So if you're struggling with motivation, just try to force yourself. It helps. It does help. But don't feel bad if you can't do it, because there have been many times I've tried to force myself. I've gotten part way in, and it doesn't work. Because it's different for everybody, and especially if you're living with disabilities, or if you're just dealing with a lot of stress and stuff, that stuff can be really hard. So that's what I wanted to talk. That's I wanted to add that on to the end of the video. So I'm gonna close out now. I always I'm like looking down, because like not only do I not look at the camera when I'm talking, which I should be looking at the camera when I'm talking, excuse me, but I look down, but I don't even look at like me. I look at like the audio mixer and stuff, but like my audio is going through a different software, so it's like nothing's happening. Like the little thing, or like the scene transitions, like I'm looking at like static menus that aren't doing anything. I don't know. So that's where my eyes go. But it's kind of funny, because like when I go to therapy or talk to my doctors or something, like I have a really difficult time with like eye contact in general, but it really helps me to listen if I'm not making eye contact, and I usually find some like thing in the room to stare at, so I'm not getting lots of like visual stimuli or stimuli. So I'm not getting lots of visual stimuli, and so I can kind of zone out my visuals by staring at the thing, and then I can focus on listening. So maybe that's what I'm doing here. I'm not trying to listen to anything. So I don't know. Now I'm just traveling, and I went over like another 3 minutes. This video is gonna be so long. This could be almost 30 minutes, 25 minutes. I will see you guys next time. Have a good one, and bye bye.